Hey there, everyone. Let's talk week five NFL subscriber edition. I've updated the injury report here very late on Friday night. We're heading into Saturday morning. Of course, there are going to be changes. As a matter of fact, let's look at the injury report first because we're going to really dig through the Sunday games only, and we're going to talk about what picks just to win mostly. I'm not going to make this a really long video. It's about winners, and it's not really about over-unders much. We're just going to talk about winners. So one of the things that I want to talk about is, well, questionable players have really been something to look at, and teams with heavy questionable players have had issues in the first few weeks. Who are those teams? They are Miami, Detroit. Tyreek Hill is questionable with quad. Dallas, the Chargers, Cincinnati, and then we get to the Chiefs, and it gets a little bit more reasonable with injuries. So let's remember that Miami, Detroit, Dallas, and the Chargers and Cincinnati, all teams that potentially have heavy questionable players. So we're going to keep that in mind as we look at everything. So up at the top, the survivor pool pick of the week is Buffalo. Minus 800 though. Oh yeah, we've got Katrina. We're going to talk picks with Katrina. Hey Katrina.
Hi.
Guess what? We're in the middle of a football video. You know that because I told you that. Text message.
Yeah.
We're gonna get through this. So yeah, it's getting to be time that we're gonna win some bets on football. And I'm going through the file. You've been losing with my picks the last week, right? We haven't won much, have we? Or you won with the under on the Thursday night game, right? Last night. What's that?
I think I did, yeah.
Yeah, you sent me a text saying you bet under 29 or something like that. So you probably bet it in the middle of the game. Either way, that was a good thing. The algorithm was good on Thursday. So we're going to talk about Sunday. All right. There are 13 games on Sunday. We're going to only bet the ones that we should bet. Okay. So game number one is Buffalo. Let's see if you can name the team name in the city. Buffalo is the
Bills.
Yeah. Pittsburgh is the
Steelers.
Yes, they are. Buffalo's supposed to crush them. Problem is they're minus 800. It's basically unbettable. So it's basically unbettable. So we're going to go to the next game. Minnesota is.
Oh, sorry. Vikings.
Yes, they are. Chicago. Oh, you definitely know Chicago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Bears.
The Cubby Bears. That's right.
The Bears.
The Bears. So here it says Minnesota wins this game by 17 points. And they have to cover 7.5. They're also minus 333 to win. You could just take them to win. If we're going to do it a big round robin, I wouldn't take a minus 7.5. So that's a possibility. So we'll say maybe. Minus 333 is pretty bad, but not the end of the world. And they're number 2 on the list. So let's just call that Vikings to win right now. Commanders, which is Washington, is playing the Tennessee. Who's Tennessee? Remember the
Titans.
Yeah,
Titans.
all right, nice. It says Washington beats Tennessee. However, I noticed something. I was looking at the stats, and it says that Tennessee only averages 7 points a game when they are on the road. And that's because they had a really rough start to the season. So their stats are a little skewed, and Washington's stats are also skewed because they played a team like Detroit early in the year that gives up a lot of points. So I don't trust what the algorithm's doing in this game. And there's a reason not to take it. Also, the Washington has lost. The algorithm's been over predicting Washington. So I'm going to say stay away from this, even though the algorithm has this as the third pick of the day. Of course, watch the algorithm prove me wrong, but Tennessee also is not playing the way they played the first 3 games, their last game. So we're going to ignore this game, even though the algorithm says take an underdog. Next, Jacksonville. It's a cat. It's a type of cat.
Panthers.
No, that's Carolina. Close.
Oh.
Jaguars, yeah. And the Houston, it's a red state. Houston.
Red.
Texas. Houston, Texas. Jacksonville versus Houston. So it says Jacksonville wins this game, but they're minus 320. And they are a really good team, actually. So they're minus 7 tough. So you could take Jacksonville to win, minus 320. So right now it's two big favorites. It's Minnesota and Jacksonville so far. Next, New England.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, you know that. Are you looking at a list so that you don't get these wrong?
Am I what?
Are you looking at a list so that you don't get these wrong?
Oh, no, I'm not. I'm just,
All right, good.
I'm in a promo.
All right, Detroit.
Detroit, I don't know.
Roar.
Maybe
Roar.
Roar.
Yeah,
Tiger?
close. Lions. They actually are the Tigers of baseball, but they're the Lions in football.
Ooh.
Okay, so it says that the Patriots win this game and they're only minus 155, and Detroit knows how to lose games, and the Patriots are at home. It says they win this game by 7-ish, and they only have to cover 3. So Patriots minus 155. So Patriots to win. So it's Jaguars, Vikings, and Patriots so far. Next, I cannot believe what I am seeing. It is saying that the Jets beat the Dolphins 26-20. I think that's the craziest thing on here. What? Wow. I just don't believe that. I just don't believe it. But they beat Pittsburgh last. All right, so you can take the Jets plus 3.5. God, I don't want to tell you to take the Jets. We don't bet the Jets. We're skipping it because we don't bet the Jets, but it says take the Jets. Next, Seattle and New Orleans. Seattle is an underdog, but the algorithm doesn't predict New Orleans very well. Seattle plus 5.5 is bettable though, the way New Orleans plays. So that's another one. It's taking them with the points, not taking them away, but taking them with the points. So Seattle plus 5.5. Hopefully they lose by a field goal or less. So we've got Seattle plus 5.5, Patriots, Jaguars, and Vikings. We're up to 4. Bengals and Ravens is a low-scoring game, and the over-under is set at 47.5. Interesting. Wow, and a super under in Tampa Bay, Atlanta. Wow. Oh my goodness. I might tell you to take some over-unders. These are insane. Wow. You have to take the under in the Tampa Bay Atlanta game. I'm sorry, it has to be a pick. It's predicting 19 points less than the over under published by the odds makers. So you got to take the under there. Under in Tampa Bay Atlanta. And I would suggest an alternate under of some sort, like under 41 or under 40.5. It'll pay a lot more money if you can have that option. Otherwise, just take the under 46.5. All right, backing up. So now we got Bengals and Ravens. Is low score. Same thing. It says the under in the Bengals Ravens game. Same idea. It's 13 points under what the projected score says, but I screwed you with this with Detroit last week. It also says the Bengals win this game, which is another weird thing here. So actually it's Bengals plus 3.5, even though they're away. Yeah, okay, it's Bengals plus 3.5. That's another pick. Because they're an underdog, you get more than the field goal with them, you're supposed to take it. Next, Carolina Panthers and San Francisco Gold Rush. You know the San Francisco team?
Did you just say it, Gold Rush?
Yeah, it's a year as well. The year of the Gold Rush.
Oh, 6. Sorry, 60. So like 1969ers or something? Like
49ers, 1849, but yeah, you got it. Yeah, it's the San Francisco 49ers.
Right.
So this has the Panthers beating the 49ers, and they're plus 240 at home. Panthers have not been predicted well by the algorithm this year, and this game is getting kind of lower down here. So I'm going to stay away from that because historically the algorithm just hasn't been doing well with the Panthers this season. Next, Cowboys and Rams. Says the Cowboys win at plus 200. I'm okay with this. So you can get Dallas plus 5.5. That's a good idea because the Rams defense is 22% injured. Absolutely. So Cowboys plus 5.5. It's another one. All right. And then the Chargers are playing the Browns. Chargers minus 120. Alternate score is a little better. It's a tough one. Chargers just to play good on the road.
Did you do well in the history class?
Did I do well in history?
Yeah. Because you just
No, no, because it involved reading books. So I would just listen to everyone in class and remember what they said, and I couldn't read.
Yeah.
Even though I'm reading the sheet right now, I'm looking at like one piece of information at a time. When it comes to reading a bunch of words, it doesn't work in my brain very well.
Yeah.
I'm always thinking about what the author meant, and I can't read the sentence. It's weird. So no, I did pretty bad. I did B's in every class because I needed to get B's and only B's. And so I would just get B's and that would move on. Why did you say that?
No, you just remembered what the exact date of the gold rush was. So it's just.
Oh, that's a common one though. It's because you're from the Philippines. You don't know that growing up.
I mean, I learned it once upon a time in middle school or something.
Mhm.
But that was just they push so many dates in your head. It's like, how do you remember dates?
I don't know. 1849 is a pretty easy one for me when it's right before 50 or something like that. But yeah.
What about the million dates you got to remember?
Well, and also note watching the team called the 49ers for so many years, you ask the question, why is the 49 in there? And so you remember it that way. I think that's probably
Right.
helpful. Mm-hmm. Yep, mnemonic devices. Okay, we'll keep going here. The Chargers and Browns it does say Chargers, but it's a close one. So it's one of those that you don't win most of the time, but sometimes. Next, the last game is the Eagles at the Cardinals, and this is fascinating because it does not say the Eagles beat the Cardinals by much, but the algorithm has not been predicting the Cardinals well all season, so it's enough of a reason to stay away. So I think what we're left with here is we're left with Vikings to win and Jaguars to win at pretty bad lines, which is not something I like to normally do, but these teams are really supposed to win and you want to get winners on your ticket. I'm trying to get 7 winners on a ticket. So we're going to take them. We're skipping over Washington because there are reasons to think that Tennessee is not being recorded properly in here and Washington's being inflated. We've got the Patriots to win at minus 155, which is really the best line on here for a team that's really supposed to win because they have a 7-point margin of victory in the projected score. That's a lot. It's a touchdown. So you got Jacksonville, Minnesota, and the Patriots. I'm passing over the Jets because we don't bet on the Jets. I said Seahawks plus 5.5 because that's a lot of points and it says they win. I said Bengals plus 3.5 because it's more than a field goal and it says they win. And I said the under in the Tampa Bay Atlanta game. And I said Dallas plus 5.5, right? That's 7 right there. That's 7 games at 5 of those games are at reasonable lines and 2 of those games are at pretty bad lines, but are just supposed to win against bad teams, which is what you want. So that's 7 picks right there. And if you split up a round robin, I'll probably do that in the video on Sunday when because I will make the same bet to show everybody what this pays. I'll throw like $100. I'll spread $100 on it. And because these are very intelligently designed picks, for lack of a better term. These are picks that went through the algorithm. We're staying away from the Commanders because we don't think that the algorithm is reading them right. We're staying away from the Eagles because we don't think it reads Arizona right. We're staying away from Carolina because we don't think the algorithm reads Carolina right for some reason. And we're staying away from the Jets because they're the Jets. So we're staying away from all the landmines that the algorithm would normally put our way, except we are wagering on a game with the Saints. And the Saints are a tough team to predict. We're taking Seattle over them with some points. So, I mean, I like to stay away from Saints games too, but I guess that's okay. Yeah. Anyway, what else going on? That's about it. That's about it for football. You want to say anything to anybody else who watches this? They like Katrina videos because it's not just me yapping; it's you occasionally responding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm asking you a question about you.
You want to ask me about me?
Yeah, I asked you if you were good at history. I don't know.
Okay. Yeah.
What was your favorite class in school?
Favorite? Recess, which is recess or whatever. No, going home. But obviously math. Now the funny story is that in school I used to go in like 6th or 7th grade. No, sorry, it's elementary school, like 5th or 6th grade. I used to go from the GT math class directly to the learning disabled reading class with a bunch of rough kids. So yeah, exactly. It's like, which I think is the definition of autism pretty much right there. But yeah, so from one to the other, numbers make a lot of sense because they always have the same answers. Words and people don't make any sense because they always have different answers. And sometimes the same answer isn't correct 2 times in a row. I think that's probably what happened with words. I can't ever tell what people mean when I'm reading. That's why I can't stand reading. I start reading, I'm like, oh, does the person mean this? Oh, does the person mean this? Oh, is this a typo? I was like, I just can't stop like doing that in my head when I read. That's why all the algorithm stuff are all color coded and stuff. Cause I'm like, oh, where's something green or red? Like for example, it says that there's a tremendous amount of value on the Jets over Miami, but I just refuse to play the Jets. Because like this is craziness. If the Jets are an underdog, it says that everyone's reading the Jets wrong, probably because they are the Jets, and I keep talking about them like that, but they're actually not that bad. Yeah, I mean, anyway, I like looking in colors and stuff instead of words and actual numbers, right? Makes it easier.
Well, I don't know. I guess that's what I was kind of saying. There's other. I remember your first hockey video. We were looking at streaks. Even that is numbers, I guess. But it's like it does help to know about the sport and kind of know what's going on with the players and blah blah blah. Other factors.
Ooh, Dallas is injured, and so Cincinnati a little bit. Whoops, forgot about that. Hold on, let's reevaluate a second. And it makes it even more in the favor of the Jets. Oh, unbelievable against Miami. Okay, so I can't believe I'm telling you to do this. Take the Jets plus 3.5. You are supposed to do that, and you're supposed to remove the Cincinnati plus 3.5 because Baltimore is actually a pretty good team, and Cincinnati's injured a little bit. But Baltimore's defense is injured. I don't know about that. You could leave Cincinnati. The other one, Dallas is hurting against the Rams. Hey, I'm talking myself silly. I don't know. You can do a lot of stuff. We might have to revisit this on Sunday when the injury report is more updated. Because I just told you to take the Jets, and that's not advisable. Don't ever listen to me if I tell you to take the Jets. Don't. Remember that. All right, yeah. Anyway, that's the NFL update. Be back on Sunday. I feel like a winning week is coming for NFL. Last time I won anything was week 2 a little bit. I didn't win last week or the week before, but I see some stuff in here that looks pretty interesting, and you could replace this with the under in the under in the Bengals Ravens game, actually, because of the injuries too. That makes more sense. Yeah. So the under 47.5 in the Cincinnati Baltimore game is actually what you can replace Cincinnati plus 3.5 with. Take the under instead. It's the second lowest predicted scoring game of the day, and the over-under is the second highest of the day. I mean, wow, talk about extremes in both directions. That's a proper bet right there.
Did you take the under in the Colts game yesterday?
I did. Took the under, and I took the Colts plus 3.5 on both picks. I won money yesterday. I also bet a whole bunch of hockey overs and hit 4 out of 5 of those, or 5 out of 6 because I took an under and one of them were, no, I did well yesterday. And tonight also most of the games are going over again. The only game that hasn't gone over so far was one game that made it to 6 and not 6.5 because the over under was set higher than normal. The odds makers are watching the videos, or people are betting according to what the videos are saying, because everyone all of a sudden all the overs just went up one day from the next. But I told everybody that there's nothing but overs coming, and they're hitting. So that has that impact because it ripples through the community when people start betting it off of the algorithm. So yeah, yeah. Let's see what the baseball. Yeah, the good thing you slept through the baseball pick because all the baseball picks lost today. Toronto lost 4-0.
Right.
Terrible. Terrible. But whatever. All right,
Yeah.
guys. This is a long video. I'm gonna cut it off for everybody because
Okay.
some people are gonna be watching this Sunday afternoon, like after 1 o'clock, trying to get all the picks. They've turned this video off by now. So yeah, all right. We'll let everybody go. Good luck, everyone. May all your picks be winning. The big 7 are Minnesota, Jacksonville, the Patriots. For the fate of heart, they can take the Jets. Seattle plus 5.5. Under or Cincinnati plus 3.5. It's kind of a toss up here. Under in the Tampa Bay Atlanta game. Dallas plus 5.5, but watch out for injuries. Potentially the Chargers, and really tough stuff at the bottom here with Philadelphia and Arizona. So that's it. Good luck, everyone. May all your picks be winning.